this building right here. To the end of this, right there where it says auto repair.
Efforts to join together with them in peace, but in the end we still want justice for Robert Mitchell. We don't want people to forget that this whole action is a result of a young man's life. A young man who was in his prime, never had a chance to even grow up and be an adult, never had a chance to fulfill his dreams because somebody made a bad decision to chase him across from Warren to Detroit and kill him. And the people that did that was the Board Police Department. And policemen are supposed to be professionals. There was no need for the senseless death of Robert Mitchell. But we want to extend our hand beyond that and create an atmosphere of peace up here on 8 Mile so that the Warren and Detroit community can travel these roads without fear of being killed like what happened to Paul Robert. And so we want peace zones for life.
Peace zones for life.
We want to establish some peace zones right here in Michigan, in the city of Detroit, with the Warren community. What do we want? Peace! 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 When do we want it? Now! When do we want it? Now!
Okay, we want to tell you all we got a city of hope, and that includes Warren. Whether they want peace or not, we will have peace. Yes. Brother Shakur, Brother Yusuf Shakur. Okay. All you Detroit Council candidates
ACP in this country, right here in Detroit. Your branch, NAACP, we're celebrating 100 years. And we saying that the struggle ain't over. The struggle continues. We are still fighting some of the same fights that when they started the NAACP 100 years ago. Who would ever dream? And we'll fight for another 100 years, times 100 years if necessary. The struggle still continues, family. But I just want to say this. We are here because each life is precious. Right and wrong have no color. Right and wrong have no color. You cannot determine 30 years ago when you saw 5 or 6 African American males on a playground playing basketball, that one of them would eventually become the first African American president of the United States. That's the same way you cannot tell that that little girl will not be the first African American governor of the state of Michigan. So each life is precious. And lastly, I want to conclude with this. By a show of hands, how many of you saw the end of the Malcolm X movie? Raise your hand if you remember that. Remember the scene when Nelson Mandela stood up in front of a class of African students and said, "I am Robert Mitchell.
Yes.
You are Robert Mitchell. She is Robert Mitchell. If you are Robert Mitchell, raise your hand." Let's say it together. I am Robert Mitchell.
I am Robert Mitchell.
I am Robert Mitchell.
I am Robert Mitchell.
As long as you say his name in the African tradition, his spirit, his meaning of life will never die. I am Robert Mitchell.
I am Robert Mitchell.
I am
Robert Mitchell.
I am
Robert Mitchell.
I am
Robert Mitchell.
I am
Robert Mitchell.
Come on, young folks, put it in. I am
Robert Mitchell.
But for the past 40 years, he's been on the front lines for justice. Am I lying? I'm telling the truth. We wouldn't have a Martin Luther King birthday if it wasn't for him. We wouldn't have a radio station if it wasn't for him. And I'm saying that, and Marion Brown came out to be with us today to let us know that they're standing here with us. Thank you.
That's right. I bring greetings from Congressman John Conyers, and he applauds you carrying out your constitutional right and power to the people. You know, you have the power to make change, and you don't have to tolerate anything that is unjust. And he applauds you, and I applaud you for coming out today to express what you feel is unjust, and you have that right. And also I applaud the way in which you have done it in an organized way and in a peaceful way. And that's how things are done. So keep up the good work, and we are observing what you're doing, and the congressman will look into it to ensure, like he's always done, that your rights are protected.